Hello, this is Hollywood Joe from Hollywood's World of Sports, and tonight I'm coming to talk to you about a recent experience I had. As most of you know, just by following me and my writing and my videos and other produced works, uh, I've been a lifelong pro wrestling fan. It's something I grew up on, something I came to love at an early age. It's something I've been passionate about at a very young age. All my life, I wanted to be involved with pro wrestling in some way, shape, or form, and unfortunately, that was never physically able to happen for me because um, if you don't know my story, I was born with a congenital heart defect and a couple other defects. Like I have really bad feet, had club feet when I was born, and that has turned to, my feet and ankles having arthritis in them now. So I was never physically able to be involved with pro wrestling. With that being said, it never stopped me from loving wrestling. It never stopped me from being interested or being passionate or studying the business. A long time ago, I shouldn't say a long time ago, but it feels like a long time ago now. One of my buddies called me the human almanac of pro wrestling because I knew the history of like WWE, WCW, ECW, all that type of stuff. I knew it so well. It was almost like a ridiculous obsession. Um, Back in 2003, 2004 is when I was introduced to the independent scene of pro wrestling. One of my friends from high school became a pro wrestler. Hung out with him all the time. Went on the road with him occasionally, and met a lot of really great people and a lot of connections. And back then I was really full of myself, very ignorant, very non-educated when it came to the promotion and business side of professional wrestling, and I was not very well liked, and I can definitely see that now. 12, 13 years later, that I made a lot of mistakes when I was younger, trying to help friends out and whatnot, and I learned from it. About 5 to 7 years ago, I started doing commentary at a local promotion in Grand Rapids, and even did a little bit of managing, which I will admit to this day I had no business doing. Um, these guys are trained professionals, and I'm not just saying the wrestlers. I'm talking referees, managers, even ring announcers are somewhat trained to a certain extent. And it was a fun experience for me though, and I have to explain this. My intent in the beginning, 13 years ago, and my intent, 5 to 7 years ago, was never to hurt anybody or insult anybody or get people in an uproar. And my whole thing was I was trying to send a message to people. There's a lot of people with health issues out there like myself that feel limited as to what they can do. They feel like they can't pursue their dreams, or they can't do what their heart is set on. And that's all I was trying to do back then, was show people, you might have some flaws, you might have some health issues, but that shouldn't stop you from pursuing your dreams. And my recent experience, I got some help from a good buddy of mine. His name is Byron. Wrestles on the independent scene as Hypno. He's been a long-time friend, 12, 13 years. Met him through my friend from high school, and I just said, hey, I'm looking for new things to blog about, new things to talk about, and I asked him, would you show me a couple of simple things in the ring so I can experience it? I'll be the first to admit, I am not a graceful person. I'm not an athletic person. I probably flop around worse than Vince McMahon does, but I needed to experience it for myself to understand the business even further. Because I may, I'm nobody. I'm still considered a fan by most people, and that is okay with me because I love being a fan. I love watching, love watching live events. Love going to indie shows when I can. I watch it on TV almost every time it's on. But from a person that studied it inside out, I had to know what it felt like somewhat. And, I got to thank Byron for, showing me the things that he did. Him and another friend of his that has also wrestled in the past, showed me some things, some basic things, how to run the ropes, collar and elbow tie-up, type situation. And like I said, I'm not a pro wrestler. I'll never be a pro wrestler. I'm not going to put any claims on that. But I just want the pro wrestling fans like myself out there to understand that it is a lot of hard work. The men and women of this business, it doesn't matter if they're on the indie scene or they're in Ring of Honor, New Japan, WWE, or whatever. It is a lot of hard work. They put their bodies on the line for people. And this experience for me today kind of gives me a whole new, different experience, like different point of view, different perspective. Maybe I might not be so quick to judge if I don't like something on TV or I don't like what I see at an independent show, because, even just running the ropes and, simple, collar and elbow tie-up, it's a lot of work. And if you don't have the toughness mentally and physically, it's not going to work out. And you got to have a certain, toughness to make it. And like I said, I'm going to show you the clips of what I was taught today. No, it's not fancy, it's not flashy, it's not perfect, but it was a very, very valuable learning experience. And like I said, I hope people will take away two things. One, they appreciate the fact of what these guys and gals put themselves through on a nightly basis, on a weekly basis. And number two is, never give up on your dreams. Never tell yourself that you can't do something because others tell you can't. Obviously, I know my limitations. I know I couldn't get in a pro wrestling ring every weekend or every week or every day, but, it's given me a whole new perspective. So here are the clips. Hope you enjoy. Let me know your feedback. And as always, be sure to check out HollywoodsWorldOfSports.com, where controversy doesn't come without criticism.
Go ahead. You should do a get in my belly.